Cybersecurity frameworks serve as structured guidelines designed to help organizations manage and mitigate cybersecurity risks effectively. They provide a systematic approach to identifying, protecting, detecting, responding to, and recovering from cyber threats. While several frameworks exist, we will focus on two prominent ones: the NIST Cybersecurity Framework and ISO/IEC 27001. NIST Cybersecurity Framework. Developed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework is widely adopted by organizations across various sectors. It offers a flexible and voluntary framework based on existing standards, guidelines, and practices, enabling organizations to customize their cybersecurity efforts according to their unique needs and risk profiles. The NIST Cybersecurity Framework comprises 5 core functions. Identify. This function involves understanding and managing cybersecurity risks by identifying assets, assessing vulnerabilities, and establishing risk management processes. Protect. In the Protect function, organizations implement safeguards to ensure the security of critical assets and data. This includes measures such as access controls, encryption, and security awareness training. Detect. The Detect function focuses on promptly identifying cybersecurity incidents through continuous monitoring, anomaly detection, and incident response capabilities. Respond. In the event of a cybersecurity incident, organizations must have robust response procedures in place to contain the incident, mitigate its impact, and restore normal operations swiftly. Recover. The Recover function involves restoring systems and services to normal operations following a cybersecurity incident. This includes data recovery, system restoration, and post-incident analysis to prevent future occurrences. ISO/IEC 27001. ISO/IEC 27001 is an international standard for information security management systems, ISMS, developed by the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, and the International Electrotechnical Commission, IEC. It provides a systematic approach to managing sensitive information, ensuring its confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Key components of ISO/IEC 27001 include risk assessment and treatment. ISO/IEC 27001 emphasizes the importance of conducting regular risk assessments to identify potential threats and vulnerabilities. Organizations are required to implement appropriate controls to mitigate these risks effectively. Policy and procedures. The standard mandates the development of information security policies and procedures tailored to the organization's objectives and risk appetite. These policies outline roles and responsibilities, acceptable use of assets, and incident response protocols. Continuous improvement. ISO/IEC 27001 promotes a culture of continuous improvement by establishing processes for monitoring, reviewing, and updating the ISMS. Regular audits and assessments help organizations identify areas for enhancement and ensure compliance with the standard's requirements. Implementing cybersecurity frameworks. Implementing cybersecurity frameworks requires a strategic approach and commitment from organizational leadership. Here are some best practices for effectively implementing cybersecurity frameworks. Leadership support. Senior management buy-in is crucial for successful framework implementation. Leadership should demonstrate a commitment to cybersecurity initiatives and allocate resources accordingly. Risk assessment. Conduct comprehensive risk assessments to identify assets, threats, and vulnerabilities. This forms the basis for developing risk mitigation strategies and prioritizing cybersecurity investments. Customization. Tailor the chosen framework to align with the organization's specific objectives, industry regulations, and risk tolerance. Customization ensures that cybersecurity measures are relevant and effective in addressing the organization's unique challenges. Training and awareness. Invest in cybersecurity training and awareness programs to educate employees about their roles and responsibilities in safeguarding sensitive information. A well-informed workforce is a critical line of defense against cyber threats. Continuous monitoring. Implement continuous monitoring mechanisms to detect and respond to cybersecurity incidents in real time. This proactive approach helps minimize the impact of security breaches and enhances overall incident response capabilities. Conclusion. Cybersecurity frameworks and standards play a pivotal role in helping organizations navigate the complex landscape of cyber threats and vulnerabilities. By adhering to established guidelines such as the NIST Cybersecurity Framework and ISO/IEC 27001, organizations can bolster their defenses, mitigate risks, and ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of critical information assets. However, successful implementation requires a concerted effort, with leadership support, risk assessment, customization, training, and continuous monitoring being key components of an effective cybersecurity strategy. By embracing cybersecurity frameworks and standards, organizations can proactively safeguard their digital assets and mitigate the ever-evolving threat landscape. In the digital era, where data breaches and cyber attacks are increasingly common, cybersecurity emerges as a critical defense mechanism for protecting sensitive information and ensuring uninterrupted business operations. At the heart of cybersecurity strategies lies the concept of identity management, a set of processes and policies used to manage user identities and regulate access to resources within a network. Central to this concept are Active Directory, AD, and Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, two Microsoft technologies that play pivotal roles in modern identity and access management. Part 1. Understanding Active Directory, AD. Active Directory, AD, is a directory service developed by Microsoft for Windows domain networks. It is included in most Windows Server operating systems as a set of processes and services. Initially released with Windows 2000 Server Edition, AD has become an essential tool for managing network resources and securing access to information. AD stores information about objects on the network and makes this information easy for administrators and users to find and use. Core components of AD. 1. Domains, trees, and forests. These are logical partitions in AD that help organize network resources. A domain is a collection of objects, such as users, groups, and devices, that share the same AD database. Trees are collections of one or more domains, and forests are collections of one or more trees. 2. Domain controllers, DCs, servers that respond to security authentication requests within a Windows Server domain. A DC hosts a copy of the AD domain database. 3. Global Catalog, a distributed data repository that contains a searchable, partial representation of every object in every domain in a forest. AD functionalities. 1. User and computer account management. AD allows the creation and management of user accounts and computer accounts, enabling administrators to easily control access to network resources. 2. Group Policy Objects, GPOs. These are used to centrally manage and configure operating systems, applications, and user settings in an Active Directory environment. 3. Authentication and authorization. AD uses the Kerberos protocol to provide a secure mechanism for authenticating users and computers in a network. AD management tools. 1. AD users and computers, a Microsoft Management Console, MMC, snap in that is a standard feature of Microsoft Windows Server operating systems. 2. AD Administrative Center, provides a modern management experience for AD-related tasks. 3. PowerShell modules for AD, allows scripting and automation of a wide range of administrative tasks. Part 2. Exploring Azure Active Directory, Azure AD. Azure Active Directory, Azure AD, is Microsoft's cloud-based identity and access management service, which helps employees sign in and access resources. Unlike traditional AD, Azure AD is designed for the cloud, supporting web-based services that use REST, Representational State Transfer, APIS. It is a critical component of the Microsoft Cloud ecosystem, including Microsoft 365, the Azure portal, and thousands of other SaaS applications. Core components of Azure AD. 1. Tenants, a dedicated and secure instance of Azure AD that an organization receives and owns when it signs up for a Microsoft Cloud service such as Microsoft 365 or Azure. 2. Users and groups. Azure AD allows the creation and management of user identities and groups for simplified access management and provisioning. Azure AD functionalities. 1. Single sign-on, SSO, enables users to memorize only one ID and password to access multiple applications. 2. Multi-Factor Authentication, MFA, adds a critical second layer of security to user sign-ins and transactions. 3. Device Management, integrates with Microsoft Intune to manage mobile devices and applications. Transitioning from AD to Azure AD. Organizations can synchronize their on-premises AD with Azure AD using Azure AD Connect, creating a hybrid environment that leverages the benefits of both on-premises and cloud solutions. This setup provides a pathway for businesses to gradually move their identity management capabilities to the cloud, capitalizing on Azure AD's robust, scalable, and accessible from anywhere architecture. Conclusion. Active Directory and Azure Active Directory are foundational elements of modern identity management and cybersecurity strategies. By understanding and leveraging these tools, organizations can enhance their security posture, improve operational efficiency, and facilitate seamless access to resources across a wide range of environments. As cyber threats continue to evolve, the role of AD and Azure AD in securing digital identities and resources will only grow in importance. In today's interconnected digital world, cybersecurity stands as a paramount concern for businesses and individuals alike. With the proliferation of online services and the increasing digitization of personal and financial data, the need for robust cybersecurity measures has never been greater. One essential aspect of cybersecurity is Customer Identity and Access Management, CIAM, a set of principles and practices aimed at protecting and managing customer identities securely. In this video, we will explore the fundamentals of cybersecurity and delve into the principles of CIAM, highlighting its importance, benefits, and key challenges. Understanding cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, ensuring digital protection. Cybersecurity refers to the set of technologies, processes, and practices designed to safeguard digital information from unauthorized access, theft, and damage. It encompasses a wide range of measures, including network security, endpoint protection, encryption, and access control, aimed at defending against cyber threats such as malware, phishing attacks, and data breaches. The evolving threat landscape. As technology advances, so do the tactics employed by cybercriminals. With the rise of sophisticated cyber threats and the increasing interconnectedness of digital systems, organizations must continuously adapt and strengthen their cybersecurity posture to mitigate risks effectively. Introducing CIAM. Defining CIAM. Customer Identity and Access Management, CIAM, is a specialized subset of identity and access management, IAM, that focuses on managing and securing digital identities for customers or users accessing online services, applications, or platforms. CIAM solutions enable businesses to authenticate, authorize, and manage customer identities securely, while also ensuring compliance with data protection regulations. The importance of CIAM. In today's digital economy, where customer data is a valuable asset, CIAM plays a crucial role in enhancing cybersecurity and protecting sensitive information. By implementing robust CIAM practices, businesses can safeguard customer identities, prevent unauthorized access, and foster trust and confidence among their user base. Foundations of CIAM. Principles of CIAM. CIAM is guided by several key principles that underpin its design and implementation. Security, ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of customer data through robust security measures. Privacy, respecting and protecting customer privacy rights by implementing data protection controls and complying with relevant regulations. Scalability, designing CIAM solutions to accommodate growing numbers of users and increasing volumes of data without sacrificing performance or security. Usability, providing a seamless and intuitive user experience that balances security requirements with user convenience and accessibility. Components of CIAM. CIAM solutions typically consist of several core components. Identity verification, processes for verifying the identity of users during account registration or login, such as email verification or identity document checks. Authentication, methods for validating user credentials and granting access to digital resources, including passwords, biometric authentication, and multi-factor authentication. Authorization, enforcing access control policies to determine what resources or services users are allowed to access based on their roles, permissions, and attributes. User management, tools and interfaces for creating, managing, and deleting user accounts, as well as updating user profiles and preferences. Audit and compliance, logging and monitoring mechanisms for tracking user activities and access events, as well as ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements and internal policies. Benefits of implementing CIAM. Enhanced security. By implementing CIAM solutions, organizations can significantly enhance the security of their digital systems and protect sensitive customer data from cyber threats such as unauthorized access, data breaches, and identity theft. Improved customer experience. CIAM solutions can streamline the user authentication and access process, providing a frictionless and seamless experience for customers accessing online services or applications. By reducing login friction and simplifying account management tasks, businesses can enhance user satisfaction and loyalty. Regulatory compliance. With the proliferation of data protection regulations such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, compliance has become a top priority for organizations handling customer data. CIAM solutions can help businesses ensure compliance with these regulations by implementing robust data protection controls, privacy-enhancing features, and audit trails. Scalable architecture. As businesses grow and scale their operations, they need CIAM solutions that can accommodate increasing numbers of users and data volumes without compromising on performance or security. By designing scalable CIAM architectures, organizations can future-proof their identity management infrastructure and support business growth effectively. Key challenges in CIAM. Balancing security and usability. One of the primary challenges in CIAM is striking the right balance between security and usability. While robust security measures are essential for protecting customer data, overly complex authentication processes or cumbersome user interfaces can frustrate users and hinder adoption. Finding the optimal balance between security and usability requires careful design and user-centric approach. Compliance with evolving regulations. As data protection regulations continue to evolve and become more stringent, organizations face the challenge of ensuring compliance with these regulations while also delivering seamless and frictionless user experiences. CIAM solutions must adapt to changing regulatory requirements, such as GDPR's data subject rights or CCPA's consumer privacy rights, and implement necessary controls and mechanisms to demonstrate compliance. Conclusion. In an increasingly digitized world where cybersecurity threats are ever present, customer identity and access management, CIAM, stands as a critical pillar of defense for businesses seeking to protect customer identities and data. By adhering to the principles of CIAM, organizations can enhance security, improve customer experience, ensure regulatory compliance, and support scalable growth. However, challenges such as balancing security and usability and staying abreast of evolving regulations require careful attention and proactive measures. By embracing CIAM as a fundamental aspect of their cybersecurity strategy, businesses can build trust, foster loyalty, and safeguard customer identities in today's digital landscape. In the vast landscape of cybersecurity, one principle stands out as paramount: identity and access management, IAM. IAM is the cornerstone of safeguarding digital assets, ensuring that only authorized users have access to sensitive information and resources. It encompasses a suite of technologies, policies, and procedures designed to manage and control user identities and their access rights within an organization's IT infrastructure. In this comprehensive guide, we delve into the intricacies of IAM, shedding light on its importance, components, implementation strategies, and best practices. Understanding IAM. IAM revolves around the fundamental concept of granting the right individuals the right access to the right resources at the right time. Essentially, it aims to answer the following questions: who is requesting access? What resources are they trying to access? Are they authorized to access those resources? When are they attempting to access them? By effectively addressing these questions, IAM enables organizations to enforce security policies, mitigate risks, achieve regulatory compliance, and safeguard against unauthorized access, data breaches, and insider threats. Components of IAM. IAM comprises several interconnected components, each playing a crucial role in managing identities and controlling access. Authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of users or entities attempting to access the system. It typically involves the use of credentials such as usernames, passwords, biometrics, or multi-factor authentication, MFA, mechanisms to validate users' identities. Authorization. Authorization determines what actions or resources an authenticated user is allowed to access based on their roles, permissions, or attributes. It involves defining access control policies and enforcing them to regulate user access to resources. User provisioning. User provisioning involves the creation, modification, and deletion of user accounts and their associated access rights throughout their lifecycle within an organization. It includes processes for onboarding new employees, updating user profiles, and deactivating accounts upon employee departure. Single sign-on, SSO. SSO allows users to authenticate once and access multiple applications or services without re-entering their credentials. It enhances user experience, improves productivity, and reduces the burden of managing multiple passwords. Directory services. Directory services store and manage user identities and their attributes, such as usernames, passwords, group memberships, and access permissions. Common examples include Lightweight Directory Access Protocol, LDAP, and Active Directory, AD. Role-based access control, RBAC. RBAC is a method of access control that assigns permissions to users based on their roles within an organization. It simplifies access management by associating permissions with predefined roles rather than individual users. Privileged Access Management, PAM. PAM focuses on managing and securing privileged accounts, which have elevated permissions to access critical systems and sensitive data. It includes mechanisms for monitoring, controlling, and auditing privileged activities to prevent abuse or misuse. Identity Governance and Administration, IGA. IGA encompasses processes and technologies for managing identities, access rights, and compliance requirements across an organization. It ensures that access privileges align with business policies and regulatory mandates. Implementation strategies. Implementing IAM requires a systematic approach tailored to the organization's needs, resources, and risk tolerance. Here are key strategies for successful IAM implementation. Conduct a risk assessment. Begin by assessing the organization's security risks, compliance requirements, and business objectives to identify IAM priorities and establish a roadmap for implementation. Define policies and procedures. Develop clear and comprehensive IAM policies and procedures governing user authentication, authorization, provisioning, and access control. Ensure alignment with industry best practices and regulatory standards. Choose the right technologies. Select IAM solutions and tools that align with the organization's requirements, scalability, interoperability, and budget constraints. Evaluate factors such as ease of deployment, integration capabilities, and vendor support. Implement strong authentication mechanisms. Deploy robust authentication mechanisms, such as MFA, biometrics, and adaptive authentication, to enhance security and protect against password-related vulnerabilities. Enforce least privilege principle. Follow the principle of least privilege by granting users only the minimum permissions necessary to perform the job functions. Regularly review and update access privileges based on changes in roles or responsibilities. Monitor and audit user activity. Implement monitoring and auditing mechanisms to track user activities, detect suspicious behavior, and investigate security incidents. Leverage logging, SIEM, security information and event management, and UEBA, user and entity behavior analytics, solutions for comprehensive visibility. Educate and train users. Provide ongoing cybersecurity awareness training to employees, contractors, and partners to promote good security practices, raise awareness about phishing attacks, and emphasize the importance of protecting sensitive information. Best practices. To maximize the effectiveness of IAM initiatives, organizations should adhere to the following best practices. Adopt a zero-trust architecture. Embrace the zero-trust security model, which assumes that threats can originate from both external and internal sources. Implement strict access controls, continuous authentication, and micro-segmentation to minimize the attack surface and prevent lateral movement by adversaries. Automate IAM processes. Leverage automation and orchestration tools to streamline IAM processes, reduce manual intervention, and improve efficiency. Automation can facilitate user provisioning, access certification, compliance reporting, and incident response. Regularly review and update IAM policies. Conduct periodic reviews of IAM policies, configurations, and access controls to ensure alignment with evolving business requirements, regulatory changes, and emerging threats. Regular audits help identify gaps, vulnerabilities, and areas for improvement. Implement secure DevOps practices. Integrate IAM into the DevOps pipeline to ensure that security is built into applications and infrastructure from the outset. Embrace principles such as infrastructure as code, IAC, secure coding practices, and continuous security testing to enhance resilience and mitigate risks. Foster collaboration across departments. Promote collaboration and communication between IT, security, compliance, and business stakeholders to ensure that IAM initiatives are aligned with organizational goals and priorities. Establish cross-functional teams to drive coordination, share insights, and address challenges collaboratively. Conclusion. IAM is the linchpin of cybersecurity, providing the foundation for protecting digital assets, preserving confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and enabling secure business operations. By embracing IAM principles, organizations can mitigate security risks, streamline access management, and build a robust defense posture against evolving cyber threats. Through strategic planning, diligent implementation, and continuous improvement, organizations can harness the power of IAM to safeguard their most valuable assets and uphold trust in the digital age. A virtual private network, VPN, has become a crucial tool in safeguarding privacy and security online. By creating a secure and encrypted connection over a less secure network, such as the Internet, VPNs ensure that sensitive data is shielded from unauthorized access. This encrypted tunnel between the user's computer and the VPN server makes it exceedingly difficult for would-be attackers to intercept and decipher the data being transmitted. VPNs are not only vital for individuals wishing to protect their privacy but are also essential for corporations. They enable secure connections for remote workers, ensuring that sensitive company information remains confidential and safe from cyber threats. The mechanics of VPN encryption. At the heart of a VPN's capability to secure your data is encryption. Encryption is the process of converting information or data into a code, especially to prevent unauthorized access. When you connect to a VPN, your data is sent through an encrypted virtual tunnel between your device and the VPN server. This process involves several steps. Initiation. Your VPN client, the software installed on your device, initiates a connection to the VPN server based on the credentials you've supplied. Authentication. The server verifies your credentials. Once authenticated, a secure connection is established. Encryption. All data transmitted between your device and the server is encrypted, making it unreadable to anyone who might intercept it. This section could explore various encryption standards and protocols such as PPTP, Point-to-Point Tunneling Protocol, L2TP, IPsec, Layer 2 Tunneling Protocol over Internet Protocol Security, OpenVPN, and WireGuard. Each protocol has its strengths and weaknesses in terms of speed, security, and ease of use, making some more suitable for specific uses than others. Importance of VPNs in securing data. Public Wi-Fi networks, such as those found in coffee shops, airports, and hotels, are notoriously insecure. Users on these networks are at a high risk of cyber threats, including man-in-the-middle attacks, where an attacker intercepts communications between two parties. VPNs encrypt your internet traffic, making it incomprehensible to anyone who might capture your data on these networks. This section could detail real-life scenarios where individuals and businesses have faced significant risks due to unsecured internet access and how VPNs have mitigated these risks. VPN benefits beyond security. VPNs serve a dual purpose, enhancing security and preserving privacy. By masking your IP address and routing your internet connection through servers around the world, VPNs prevent ISPs, websites, and potential attackers from tracking your internet activity. This anonymity is particularly valuable in an age where personal data is a currency traded by corporations and governments alike. Moreover, VPNs are instrumental in bypassing geo-restrictions, allowing users to access content that may be restricted in their region due to licensing agreements or censorship. This capability is a boon for freedom of information, enabling access to a global internet without barriers. Choosing the right VPN. With the plethora of VPN services available, choosing the right one can be daunting. This section should guide readers through key considerations, including security features, encryption standards, no-logs policy, speed, reliability, server locations, user interface, and price. It's also vital to consider the reputation of the VPN provider and reviews from trusted sources. Let's delve into encryption once more. Encryption is the cornerstone of a VPN's functionality, ensuring that data transmitted over the internet is secure and private. When a VPN connection is established, the VPN client and server negotiate a secure and encrypted connection using a process known as a handshake. This handshake involves the exchange of encryption keys, which are then used to encrypt and decrypt the data sent over the connection. Types of encryption. Symmetric encryption. In symmetric encryption, the same key is used to encrypt and decrypt data. This method is fast and efficient, making it suitable for encrypting large volumes of data transmitted over a VPN connection. Asymmetric encryption. Unlike symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption uses two different keys, a public key and a private key. The public key is used to encrypt data, while the private key decrypts it. This method is used during the VPN handshake to securely exchange the symmetric keys that will be used for the session. Encryption protocols, PPTP, point-to-point tunneling protocol. One of the oldest VPN protocols, PPTP is fast but offers weaker security compared to newer protocols. It's relatively easy to set up but is generally considered obsolete due to its vulnerabilities. L2TP, IPsec, Layer 2 tunneling protocol over Internet Protocol Security. L2TP, IPsec combines the L2TP protocol with the IPsec suite of security protocols, providing stronger security than PPTP. It encapsulates data twice, offering better data protection. OpenVPN, an open-source VPN protocol known for its flexibility and security. It uses the OpenSSL library extensively and offers robust security. It's highly configurable and can bypass firewalls more effectively than some other protocols. WireGuard, the newest VPN protocol, known for its simplicity and high-speed performance. WireGuard uses state-of-the-art cryptography and aims to be faster, simpler, and more secure than its predecessors. It's designed to be easy to configure and deploy, making it a promising option for both individual and enterprise use. In the realm of cybersecurity, log management is the process of generating, collecting, centralizing, parsing, transmitting, storing, archiving, and disposing of the logs generated by computer systems, networks, and applications. Logs are essentially records of events happening within your software and hardware. Effective log management is crucial for security monitoring, compliance, auditing, debugging, and performance monitoring. Importance of log management: security incident detection. Logs provide a detailed chronological record of events. Analyzing these logs helps in identifying suspicious activities that could indicate a security breach or an ongoing attack. Compliance. Many regulatory frameworks require organizations to maintain and review logs regularly to ensure the integrity and confidentiality of information. Operational efficiency. Logs help in diagnosing problems within systems, thereby aiding in swift resolution and minimizing downtime. Forensic analysis. In the event of a security incident, logs serve as vital evidence, providing insights into the actions taken by attackers. Core principles of log management: comprehensive collection. Ensure all systems, devices, and applications within the IT environment are configured to generate and forward logs to a centralized log management solution. Secure storage. Logs contain sensitive information. It's essential to store them securely, protecting against unauthorized access and tampering. Effective analysis. Implement tools and techniques for real-time analysis and monitoring of logs to detect anomalies and potential security incidents. Retention and archiving. Define policies for how long logs should be retained based on regulatory requirements and operational needs. Ensure archived logs are accessible for future reference or audits. Disposal. Establish secure methods for disposing of logs that are no longer needed, ensuring sensitive information is irrecoverably destroyed. Best practices in log management. Use centralized log management. Centralizing logs from all sources into a single system simplifies management and analysis. Implement role-based access control. Limit access to logs based on the principle of least privilege to prevent unauthorized access. Automate log analysis. Use automated tools to monitor and analyze logs in real time, enabling swift detection of anomalies. Regularly review logs. In addition to automated analysis, periodically perform manual reviews to identify issues that automated systems might miss. Ensure compliance. Regularly audit log management practices to ensure compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and standards. Challenges in log management. Volume of data. The sheer volume of logs generated can be overwhelming, making management and analysis challenging. Complexity of analysis. Logs from different sources can vary significantly, requiring sophisticated tools to analyze effectively. Storage and retention. Balancing the need for immediate access to recent logs with the requirements for long-term archival can be difficult. Security of logs. Protecting logs from unauthorized access and tampering is crucial, as they contain sensitive information. Conclusion. Effective log management is a cornerstone of robust cybersecurity practices. By adhering to the principles of comprehensive collection, secure storage, effective analysis, and proper retention and disposal, organizations can significantly enhance their security posture. Implementing best practices and overcoming the challenges of log management requires a strategic approach, combining the right tools, processes, and policies. As cyber threats evolve, the role of log management in detecting, responding to, and preventing security incidents becomes increasingly vital. In the realm of cybersecurity, authentication serves as the gatekeeper, determining who can access digital resources and services. Traditionally, authentication relied solely on passwords, a single factor that, if compromised, could grant unauthorized access to sensitive information. Recognizing the limitations of this approach, cybersecurity experts devised multi-factor authentication, MFA, as a more robust alternative. MFA enhances security by requiring users to provide multiple forms of identification, or factors, before granting access. These factors typically fall into three categories. 1. Something you know. This includes passwords, PINs, or answers to security questions. 2. Something you have, such as a mobile device, smart card, or security token. 3. Something you are, referring to biometric identifiers like fingerprints, facial recognition, or voice prints. By combining these factors, MFA creates multiple layers of defense, making it significantly more difficult for cybercriminals to gain unauthorized access. The need for MFA. The rise of cyber attacks targeting user credentials has highlighted the inadequacy of traditional password-based authentication methods. Statistics reveal a disturbing trend. A significant percentage of data breaches stem from compromised or weak passwords. For organizations, the consequences of such breaches can be catastrophic, leading to financial losses, reputational damage, and regulatory penalties. Furthermore, regulatory bodies and industry standards organizations are increasingly mandating the adoption of MFA as a fundamental security measure. Compliance requirements such as GDPR, HIPAA, and PCI DSS advocate for the implementation of robust authentication mechanisms to protect sensitive data and ensure user privacy. Types of MFA factors. MFA encompasses a variety of factors, each offering unique strengths and considerations. Knowledge factors. While passwords remain the most common form of knowledge-based authentication, they are susceptible to various vulnerabilities, including brute force attacks and password reuse. Security questions, though easy to remember, can often be guessed or socially engineered. Possession factors. Devices such as smartphones, USB tokens, and smart cards serve as possession-based factors, providing an additional layer of security. However, the loss or theft of these devices can pose a significant risk unless additional safeguards, such as encryption or remote wipe capabilities, are in place. Inherence factors. Biometric authentication methods, including fingerprint scanners, facial recognition systems, and voice authentication, offer a convenient and secure means of verifying user identities. However, concerns regarding privacy, accuracy, and spoofing remain prevalent. Location and time factors. Geofencing and time-based restrictions add another dimension to MFA, allowing organizations to enforce access policies based on the user's physical location or the time of day. While effective in preventing unauthorized access, these factors may introduce usability challenges for remote or mobile users. MFA technologies and solutions. An array of technologies and solutions are available to implement MFA across various platforms and environments. SMS-based verification. Widely adopted due to its simplicity and ubiquity, SMS-based MFA sends authentication codes to users' mobile phones via text message. However, this method is susceptible to SIM swapping attacks and interception by malware. Authenticator apps. Apps like Google Authenticator and Microsoft Authenticator generate time-based one-time passwords, TOTPs, that users enter alongside their passwords during the authentication process. These apps offer enhanced security compared to SMS-based verification but require users to install and configure additional software. Hardware tokens. Devices such as YubiKey and RSA Secure ID tokens generate unique authentication codes that users input during login. Hardware tokens provide an extra layer of security by ensuring that the authentication process remains offline and immune to phishing attacks. Biometric authentication systems. Leveraging unique physiological or behavioral characteristics, biometric authentication offers a seamless and secure user experience. However, concerns regarding accuracy, privacy, and interoperability across devices and platforms persist. Push notification-based authentication. Utilizing mobile apps or browser extensions, push notification-based authentication sends authentication requests directly to users' smartphones or other registered devices. Users can approve or deny the login attempt with a single tap, enhancing security and convenience. Implementing MFA. Deploying MFA within an organization requires careful planning and execution. Assessment and planning. Conduct a thorough assessment of existing authentication mechanisms, user workflows, and security requirements to identify areas for improvement. Develop a comprehensive implementation plan that outlines roles, responsibilities, and timelines. User enrollment and education. Communicate the importance of MFA to users and provide clear instructions for enrolling in and using MFA solutions. Offer training and support resources to help users understand the benefits of MFA and address any concerns or questions they may have. Integration with existing infrastructure. Integrate MFA solutions seamlessly with existing authentication systems, identity management platforms, and access control mechanisms. Ensure compatibility with legacy applications and systems while maintaining interoperability with cloud-based services and mobile devices. Monitoring and maintenance. Establish monitoring mechanisms to track authentication attempts, detect anomalies, and respond to security incidents promptly. Regularly review and update MFA policies, configurations, and access controls to adapt to evolving threats and business requirements. Challenges and considerations in MFA. Despite its effectiveness, MFA presents several challenges and considerations. Accessibility and user experience. Balancing security with usability is critical to ensure that MFA solutions do not impede user productivity or frustrate end users. Implementing intuitive authentication methods and providing alternative options for users with disabilities can help overcome accessibility challenges. Security vulnerabilities. While MFA enhances security, it is not immune to exploitation. Threats such as phishing attacks, social engineering, and malware can compromise MFA mechanisms and bypass authentication controls. Organizations must remain vigilant and implement additional safeguards to mitigate these risks. Cost and resource implications. Deploying and maintaining MFA solutions require investments in hardware, software, training, and support resources. Organizations must weigh the costs and benefits of MFA against potential security risks and regulatory requirements to ensure cost-effective implementation. Conclusion. In an era defined by digital transformation and interconnectedness, safeguarding our digital identities and information assets is more critical than ever. Multi-factor authentication, MFA, stands as a cornerstone of cybersecurity, offering a robust defense against an ever-expanding array of threats. By combining multiple factors of authentication, including knowledge, possession, and inherence factors, MFA creates layers of protection that significantly enhance the security of our digital ecosystems. As organizations and individuals embrace the principles of MFA, they reinforce the resilience of their digital fortresses and mitigate the risk of unauthorized access, data breaches, and identity theft. By adopting MFA best practices, staying abreast of emerging technologies, and fostering a culture of cybersecurity awareness, we can navigate the complex landscape of cybersecurity with confidence and resilience, ensuring a safer and more secure digital future for all. As cyber threats evolve with increasing sophistication, the strategies we employ to defend against them must also advance. Among these strategies, identity management emerges as a cornerstone of modern cybersecurity frameworks, with privileged identity management, PIM, playing a pivotal role, especially within environments like Azure Active Directory, AD. Understanding privileged identity management, PIM. What is PIM? At its core, privileged identity management, PIM, refers to the processes and technologies used to manage, control, and monitor access to critical resources within an organization's IT environment. This includes managing the credentials of users who have elevated access privileges, such as system administrators, to minimize the risk of breaches. Why PIM? The necessity of PIM arises from the inherent risks associated with privileged accounts. These accounts, if compromised, can grant attackers unfettered access to an organization's most sensitive data and systems, leading to catastrophic breaches. Thus, PIM is not just a tool but a crucial safeguard, ensuring that only the right individuals have access to the right resources, at the right time, and for the right reasons. The importance of PIM in Azure AD. Azure Active Directory, Microsoft's cloud-based identity and access management service, integrates PIM to offer a robust mechanism for securing privileged access. In the context of Azure AD, PIM provides a granular control over privileged roles and access rights, making it a critical component for any organization's security posture. Mitigating risks. By enforcing just-in-time (JIT) access, requiring approval for accessing privileged roles, and continuously monitoring activities, PIM helps mitigate the risk of insider threats and external attacks. It ensures that privileged access is not only minimized but also monitored and auditable. Core components of Azure AD PIM. To appreciate the capabilities of PIM within Azure AD, it's essential to understand its core components. Just-in-time access. JIT access reduces the attack surface by providing privileged access only when needed, for a limited time. Role-based access control, RBAC. RBAC ensures that users are assigned roles that closely match their job responsibilities, minimizing unnecessary access to sensitive information. Conditional access policies. These policies add security layers by requiring users to meet certain conditions before accessing privileged roles, such as multi-factor authentication, MFA. Audit logs and alerts. Continuous monitoring and auditing of privileged sessions help detect suspicious activities, with alerts being raised for any anomalies. Managing and controlling access with Azure AD PIM. Effective management and control of access are critical in preventing unauthorized access to privileged information. Azure AD PIM facilitates this through granular access controls. Administrators can define exactly what resources a user can access, under what conditions, and for how long. Approval workflows. Before a user can assume a privileged role, they must go through an approval process, adding an extra layer of scrutiny. Automated role activation. Roles can be automatically activated when certain conditions are met, streamlining the process while ensuring security. Single sign-on, SSO, is a cybersecurity authentication mechanism that enables users to access various applications or systems using a single set of credentials. Rather than managing and remembering numerous usernames and passwords, SSO empowers users to navigate seamlessly across platforms without the need for repetitive authentication. How SSO works. At its core, SSO operates through the exchange of trust tokens among three key entities. User, the individual seeking access to applications or services. Service provider, SP, the platform or application the user intends to access. Identity provider, IDP, the entity responsible for authenticating the user's identity. Here's a simplified breakdown of the SSO process. 1. User access request. The user initiates an access request to a specific service or application. 2. SSO token request. If the user isn't authenticated, the SP redirects the user to the IDP. 3. Authentication. The user logs in using their SSO credentials at the IDP. 4. Token issuance. Upon successful authentication, the IDP issues a token, assertion, to the user. 5. Token validation. The user presents the token to the SP, which verifies its authenticity with the IDP. 6. Access granted. With the token validated, the SP grants the user access to the requested service or application. Advantages of single sign-on. Implementing SSO offers a multitude of benefits for both users and organizations. Enhanced user experience. SSO simplifies the login process, eliminating the need to remember multiple passwords and reducing login fatigue. Users enjoy a frictionless experience as they seamlessly transition between applications without the hassle of repeated authentication. Improved security. By centralizing authentication processes, SSO strengthens security measures. Users are less likely to resort to weak passwords or reuse credentials across different platforms, mitigating the risk of security breaches. Additionally, SSO facilitates the enforcement of robust authentication policies, such as multi-factor authentication, MFA, further fortifying defenses against unauthorized access. Increased productivity. With streamlined access to various applications, users can focus on their tasks without interruptions caused by frequent login prompts. This translates to enhanced productivity across the organization, as employees spend less time grappling with authentication issues. Simplified IT management. SSO simplifies administrative tasks for IT teams by centralizing user authentication and access control. IT administrators can efficiently manage user identities, permissions, and access levels from a single point of control, reducing the complexity of identity management processes. Challenges and considerations. While SSO offers numerous advantages, it's essential to address potential challenges and considerations. Single point of failure. SSO introduces a single point of failure, where a breach in the authentication system could compromise access to multiple applications. Organizations must implement robust security measures, such as encryption and regular security audits, to mitigate this risk. Compatibility issues. Integrating SSO with existing applications and systems can pose compatibility challenges. Organizations may encounter issues with legacy systems that lack support for modern authentication protocols. Thorough testing and compatibility checks are crucial to ensure seamless integration. User privacy concerns. Centralizing user authentication data raises privacy concerns, as sensitive information may be vulnerable to unauthorized access or misuse. Organizations must prioritize data privacy and compliance with relevant regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and the California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA. Best practices for SSO implementation. To maximize the benefits of SSO while addressing potential challenges, organizations should adhere to best practices. Conduct a comprehensive risk assessment. Before implementing SSO, conduct a thorough risk assessment to identify potential security vulnerabilities and compliance requirements. Evaluate the impact of SSO on your organization's security posture and develop strategies to mitigate risks effectively. Choose a reliable identity provider. Select a reputable identity provider with a proven track record in cybersecurity and compliance. Consider factors such as authentication protocols supported, scalability, reliability, and adherence to industry standards and regulations. Implement multi-factor authentication, MFA. Enhance security measures by implementing multi-factor authentication, MFA, alongside SSO. MFA adds an extra layer of protection by requiring users to provide multiple forms of verification, such as passwords, biometric data, or one-time codes. Educate users on security best practices. Educate users on security best practices, such as creating strong passwords, avoiding password reuse, and recognizing phishing attempts. Foster a culture of security awareness within the organization to empower users to play an active role in safeguarding sensitive information. Monitor and audit access activity. Implement robust monitoring and auditing mechanisms to track user access activity and detect anomalous behavior. Regularly review access logs and conduct security audits to identify and address potential security threats proactively. Stay abreast of emerging threats and technologies. Stay informed about emerging cybersecurity threats and technologies to adapt your SSO implementation accordingly. Keep abreast of security best practices, industry standards, and regulatory requirements to maintain a secure and compliant authentication environment. Conclusion. Single sign-on, SSO, serves as a cornerstone of modern cybersecurity, offering a balance between enhanced user experience and strengthened security measures. By centralizing authentication processes and streamlining access to multiple applications, SSO empowers organizations to mitigate security risks, improve productivity, and simplify IT management. However, it's crucial for organizations to address potential challenges, adhere to best practices, and prioritize data privacy and compliance to maximize the benefits of SSO effectively. As organizations continue to embrace digital transformation, SSO will play an increasingly pivotal role in shaping the future of cybersecurity, ensuring seamless access to digital resources while safeguarding sensitive information from evolving threats. In the evolving landscape of cybersecurity, where digital threats grow more sophisticated by the day, traditional security measures have increasingly shown their limitations. The perimeter-based security model, which operates on the principle of trusting users and devices within a network, has been breached too many times, leading to significant data losses and compromised systems. This situation calls for a paradigm shift in how we approach security, leading to the rise of the Zero Trust Security Model, ZTSM. The Zero Trust Security Model is a strategic approach to cybersecurity that operates on a simple, foundational principle: never trust, always verify. Unlike traditional security models that assume everything inside the network is safe, Zero Trust treats all users and devices as potential threats. It requires strict identity verification for every person and device attempting to access resources on a private network, regardless of whether they are sitting within or outside of the network perimeter. This comprehensive guide delves into the Zero Trust Security Model, exploring its origins, principles, implementation strategies, challenges, and future directions. Our aim is to demystify Zero Trust for organizations looking to bolster their security posture in the face of ever-evolving digital threats. The concept of Zero Trust was born out of necessity. Traditional security models relied heavily on the idea of a secure perimeter. Firewalls, antivirus software, and other perimeter defense mechanisms were designed to keep attackers out. However, this approach has a critical flaw. Once an attacker breaches the perimeter, they have relatively free reign over the network. The increasing sophistication of cyber attacks and the advent of cloud computing, mobile devices, and the Internet of Things, IoT, have further exposed the limitations of perimeter-based security. The term, Zero Trust, was coined by John Kindervag during his tenure at Forrester Research, Inc., in 2010. Kindervag recognized that trust is a vulnerability. In the digital world, where attackers can come from anywhere, the assumption of trust becomes an Achilles heel. Zero Trust architecture was proposed as a solution to this problem, shifting the focus from protecting wide network perimeters to protecting individual or small groups of resources. The Zero Trust security model is built around several core principles that challenge the conventional wisdom of cybersecurity. These principles serve as the foundation for designing a Zero Trust architecture. Never trust, always verify. The cornerstone of Zero Trust, this principle dictates that no entity, whether inside or outside the network, should be trusted by default. Every access request must be authenticated, authorized, and continuously validated for security configuration and posture before granting access. Least privilege access. Entities should be given the minimum level of access, or permissions, needed to perform their duties. This limits the potential damage from breaches or insider threats. Microsegmentation. The network is divided into small, secure zones. This allows for more granular security policies and limits lateral movement by attackers within the network. Continuous monitoring and validation. Zero Trust requires continuous monitoring of all network and system activities. This proactive stance ensures that any suspicious activity can be detected and responded to in real time, further reducing the attack surface. Implementing these principles requires a shift in mindset from the traditional security models. It necessitates a comprehensive understanding of an organization's assets, including data, devices, users, and services, to enforce strict access controls and monitor all activities effectively.